Hello. So we have, let me try to adjust this. I don't know. We're gonna try this camera. This is a super old camera. We've bought two cameras. Neither of them, they were just crap. So this one probably still doesn't have a stabilizer because it's an old cheap camera. But I figured I should update anyway. We are no longer van lifing it. Now we are camper life off the grid. And we are up at Flathead Lake. We're here permanently. I mean, we're not pulling campers around or anything. We're here permanently, but I'll show you kind of our setup. So this is the camper I'm staying in. We've got our fire pit there. It's full of burnable garbage right now because we've been gathering it up and gonna burn it. We just haven't lit a fire. And then over here is where Kayla is camping, and she's actually going to be moving her camper to a campground up here because she got a job as a camp host. So she's going to be moving that up there. But this is her camper. It's actually is my camper, but I like redid the whole inside and everything of it, but she's been using it for like 4 years. So, and then my mom is up here, and this is the camper she's staying in. She stayed in this camper right here, and then Shalana is staying over in this tent. Let's see if you can even see it. The sun's in my eyes. She's staying in this tent. It's a 10-person tent. We bought it at a garage sale for like 10 bucks. It was brand new in the bag and everything. So she's staying in that. This is the property. Tree. It's like forest. There's one little field over on the other side of it that I can show you later. What's been going on? Let's see, what's been going on since I last updated? Well, we had what we think was a mountain lion kill a deer out here. And we had a bear with a cub. And I think the cub came in my camper. I leave the door open for Shalana's cats because they can sleep in her tent or in my camper. And it was too dark and I didn't have a light, so but the dog chased it away, but I think it was a bear cub. We've seen a few deer, a few turkey. That's other than birds, that's about it. Shalana and Kayla both are working now. Kayla, like I said, has got a job as a camp host, working in an office at a campground, and Shalana is actually taking care of my grandmother who's got dementia. So she does that overnight, takes care of my grandma, because my grandma had got dementia to the point that she was calling the ambulance like every other day because she would feel a pain, and so she would call the ambulance. And so finally the hospital was like, somebody has to be there 24 hours or we're putting them in a nursing home. So Shalana's doing that. I'm not working right now. We're partly because we only have the one van, and here, let me sit down so I can walk in. But we only have the one van, so it's kind of hard to get all of us where we need to go. So until we get another car, I probably won't even start looking for work. I'm supposed to help my aunt with some stuff for some money, but you know, that's it. What else has been going? Oh, I've been sick. I got sick in January on our, I don't know if I said that on one of our last videos, but on our road trip back from Arizona, I got sick, and I've had this cough ever since then. I've been to the doctor a million times. They've done like every test. They've given me like every kind of drug. This cough will not go away. It's like that. It's just a dry cough. So they have no idea what it's from. The only thing they haven't done, and I might at my next appointment ask them to do it because the cough still hasn't gone away, is to ultrasound my throat to make sure there's not something in my throat. They said the only thing they can think it is maybe long COVID, if what I had when I was sick was COVID. But I had a COVID test and it said it wasn't, so, but I also had the COVID test like a month later, so it could have been already, you know. What else is going on? Kayla's got a garden this year, but not as big as she usually does because she's working, and usually she's not working while she's up here. We are trying to put a house up here, so my mom's going through all the paperwork. There's so many, it sucks. This land has been in her family for like a million years, right? She inherited it, and there basically weren't any rules on it. But it's been, you know, so many Californians moving in and stuff getting subdivided and turning into communities, that there are rules like for everything. Like you have to pay, it's stupid. You have to pay for everything. You have to pay to put a camper on here. You have to pay to have somebody come look at the land to see what you can put on it. And then you have to pay, pretty much anything. You have to pay to put in plans for what you're putting on the land. You have to pay, I mean, just everything. So, and it's really complicated. Like, you've got to measure where the house is compared to the edge of the property, and I mean, this is 10 acres, so that's like a lot of measuring. So it's just a pain in the butt. But I think that's all that's been going on. Basically, I've been sleeping ever since, I mean, months ago. I have been so tired. Like, I have been sleeping nonstop. Like, I don't know if it's the same thing that my cough is from or that I got sick from, but I got put on a new medication. Oh, there's this really cool thing, because I went and I asked, we found new doctors up here and stuff, and so far every doctor I've got up here, or that we've got up here, we love. But I asked the doctor if I could be put on antidepressants, because I thought maybe the reason I'm so tired is that I'm depressed, and it's just like manifesting as like sleeping all the time. And so she's like, well, I'm not really comfortable prescribing, you know, psychiatric medication. She's like, but we'll transfer you to this person. She's a psychiatric nurse. It's in their office. And she said, and she does genome sequencing that tells her what medication will work best for you. And so she transferred me, and I had my appointment, and it's just like a little mouth swab. And when it came back, it turns out I'm not producing serotonin. I also can't absorb serotonin. I also can't absorb folic acid. And I have a slow metabolism. So when I take prescriptions, the prescription will like build up in my system. It doesn't go through my system very fast. So like, if she prescribes me like 100 milligrams of something, by the end of the month, I could have 1,000 milligrams of it in my system, because it just keeps building up and building up. So, like, she said I'll get more side effects the longer I take medicine than the beginning. But she did put me on something I'd never heard of. It was, what's it called? Fetsima. And, it's specifically an antidepressant, but it's also like can give you energy, because we thought like maybe it would help with my sleeping. And so I am sleeping less. I'm not as tired, but I'm still sleeping too much. I also have a sleep study coming up, and I'm nervous about that, because with the stuff on my face, like with my cough, I don't know if it's going to mess up the readings and stuff. But so the sleep study they just want to make sure I don't have sleep apnea or something, but I don't snore or anything, so I don't think I have sleep apnea. But that isn't scheduled till November, but I'm on a waiting list because they said people cancel all the time, and so they'll like call if there's a cancellation. So I'm doing that. I told them already, I said, if I have sleep apnea, I said, we're in campers off grid, we have no way to run a CPAP machine. And he's like, well, do you have a generator? And I'm like, yeah, but we're not going to run the generator all night and pay gas to run it all night for like me to have one thing hooked up. And plus, 2 of the campers don't even really have the wiring for something to be hooked up. Only one of them does, and that's not the one I sleep in. So that's, I think, our update. So we'll get on with our day. We found this huckleberry bread at the store. It was like $7 for the loaf, but we bought it specifically to make French toast with huckleberry syrup that Kayla made like a couple years ago. So that's what we're having for breakfast.
Yes.
Huckleberry French toast and huckleberry syrup.
Yes. And Lily has num-nums. Yes, drink your water. Well, you don't remember.
We're at Casa Mexico.
They're really good, Verde.
Okay, say what you got.
I got enchiladas tricolor. It's a sampler, so this is mole. This one is just regular enchilada, and this one's Verde.
It's huge if you can see it and compare it to her face.
Oh, fish tacos.
Fish tacos. They look really good. And I got chicken mole. And this is the cool arch that's in the middle of the restaurant. I want one of these at my house.
I'm going to build a house on that stuff, the adobe.
Yeah. For dessert, we got fried ice cream. So each of you taste it and let me know how it is.
I'm sure it's good. And then Grandma explained it to me, and I still don't understand. It's got caramel. Because I said, how do you fry ice cream?
Is it warm?
As you do. Yeah. It's good. It tastes like
we were sitting here by the fire, but the fire has gone out and it's just smoke now. So we're just sitting in the smoke.
I put so much work into that fire. I lit a bunch of cardboard. Actually, I have another cardboard.
We had a bunch of cardboard and stuff to burn, and so it was, we didn't have logs on it. We just burned the cardboard.
Yeah. I know.
It's not 4th of July yet, but we got 2 fireworks. We got this pagoda one.
Friendship pagoda.
And this chicken.
A chicken.
So we're going to light them, even though it's not.
These are my favorite kind. They're not really going to scoop.
Hello, my girlfriend.
Lily, you don't...
Come here. Come over here and I will hold you because she's going to light something.
She's going to try and chase it. Scoot your butt.
Come here. Let's watch. I'll hold you.
Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to spin because we're not exactly on a flat surface. Oh, this lighter doesn't work.
That's the new lighter.
I don't think it is. I'm going to get the purple one. I literally just lit the fire with this. I'm using windy.
Wait, Lily. No, I'm holding you. Look.
It should.
What's it doing?
It didn't pop up the
It didn't pop up. Oh. Look.
It's going to fly at you. She's like, I don't even care.
Yeah, she doesn't even care about it.
She's like, I want to play with it. Oh, there it goes.
Quick, put out the fire.
What is that?
It's a pagoda.
Don't let her touch it.
Look, we got it. Look, we got a chicken, Lily.
Okay.
Come here. Let me hold you.
Come
here.
Noodle. Okay, I don't remember what this does completely.
It poops out.
I know it does that, but I don't.
Oh, I don't remember that. It had a balloon out his butt.
It laid an egg. She's like, what is that?
It's cool. It had a balloon out his butt. So we had an interesting night last night. 3 o'clock in the morning, Lily like flung herself out of bed, and I thought, because it was dark in the camper and I didn't have my glasses on, It took me a while to find the light and get my glasses on. I thought she must have saw like a deer or something out the window and like flung herself out the window and got stuck in the window, like broke the window and got stuck. But no, she flung herself, she bounced off the window, landed on the ground by the bed, and there's like a 2-foot section between the bed and the wall, and she was having like a seizure or something. I mean, her legs were flailing around, her eyes were opened and terrified, and she was like foaming at the mouth and everything. And I was like, you know, I didn't know what was going on, so we didn't have a car because Shalana has the car at my grandma's house because she takes care of her at night. So my uncle, his camper, he camps on this land too, so I went over to see if I could use his car to take her to the emergency vet, and she came walking out while I was talking to him, and she seemed totally fine. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll wait and just take her in today to her regular vet, and but she seems totally fine, and she's got a vet appointment in like 2 days, so I think I'm just gonna wait and take her to her regular vet appointment so we don't have to pay for 2 appointments, because she seems totally fine now. So I think it was just a seizure, but why she had a seizure, I don't know. She's never had a seizure, and it wasn't like Babu has seizures, but when Babu has seizures, her whole body goes limp and her eyes roll back in her head, and she just lays there for like a minute, and then she gets up and she's fine and she walks around. This wasn't like this. I thought she was dying. Like, I was terrified because that's kind of what happened to our dog that we had in Nashville, that he had stuff wrong with him, but when he died, it was like that. He like flopped around and was foaming at the mouth, and then he just died. And so I thought she was, but she's like totally fine today. So I don't know what it was, but we're just gonna, unless it happens again, if it happens again, we'll take her to the emergency vet. But as it is now, we're gonna wait like 2 days and take her to the vet, and we'll see what they say in her regular appointment, because it's like 2 days away. So, but yeah, it was a long night. That was very weird.
Seems like these bushes are decent over here.
We are up checking the huckleberries to see if they're ripe and ready to be picked.
Yeah, they're good. I just have to find a decent spot. And this looks like it will be one because I have to climb to a tree, and people are lazy and they don't do that. And there aren't any other dogs, which is also weird.
We just took the dogs to the vet. They pretty much weren't concerned about Lily's seizure. They said to keep track if she has any more, and then they'll do like a bunch of blood work and stuff. Said she was healthy. Babu, same thing. She's got heart problems, but we're not going to do anything.
Dinosaur.
I mean, they said they wouldn't do anything about it. It's just going to be whatever. So they both got their shots, so they can go to the groomer now, because we had been not able to take them to the groomer because they hadn't had their shots updated. And we are at a dog park in Polson, Montana. Don't like it very much. It's basically this walkway and then straight down into the lake. So I don't know, it's probably the worst dog park we've been to, and there are no other dogs here, so Lily's a little bummed out by that, but we're gonna go walking. Hello! I have so much stuff that happened yesterday, like you would not believe. I didn't drive, because I'll get to why I didn't drive in a minute. My eye was not functioning. My mom drove probably like hundreds and hundreds of miles. So I'll start with the night before. I was too tired to post this yesterday, like it was just so long. But so the night before, I went to bed at like 11 o'clock, and Lily had at 1 o'clock in the morning, she had a seizure. Actually, she had 2 seizures. She had a seizure, and then it stopped for a minute, and then she had another one. And we had just taken her to the vet the day before that, I think, or 2 days before that, because she had had a seizure, and it was her first seizure like earlier in that week. And they said, you know, if she has more seizures, to call. I'm sorry, I'm by the road, so there's cars going by. But she said if she had more seizures, to call and come in, and they would do blood tests. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. Well, I was waiting to see, since she had had 2 seizures. I was just laying in bed, scrolling on my phone, laying on the pillow, and was like staying awake to see if she had more seizures, because if she had more than the 2, I was going to take her to the emergency vet instead of just waiting until later to take her to the regular vet. So while I was laying there, my eyes open, staring at my phone, she decided she wanted my pillow, and she'll paw you when she wants something. Well, she stuck her paw straight in my eye and pulled it like this to pull my head off the pillow. So I sat up because I was in pain, and she just laid on the pillow and went to sleep. But so I could feel, like when I closed my eye and stuff, I could feel like a flap of something. And I tried looking in the mirror, but I couldn't keep my eye open to look in the mirror. So I was like, well, I'll lay here for a little while to like keep my eye closed to see if like the flap that I'm feeling closes or something. And it didn't. So at like 8 o'clock in the morning, when the walk-in clinic opened, I went there because I don't know what eye doctors are around here. Our eye doctor is still 4 hours away. We haven't switched eye doctors yet. So we went to the walk-in clinic. My mom took me. It's about a half an hour away from where we live. And he looked at it, put some dye in it and stuff. And he's like, oh, it's really bad. He's like, you need to go to an eye doctor. So he gave me an eye doctor. Oh, Babu just started my phone. I can't turn it off. So went to that eye doctor. It was like another 20-30 minutes away from where we were at the walk-in. And he put in, apparently they have bandage contacts. They're like clear contacts, but they hold, because I had a scratch on the cornea and a scratch up above on the top of my eyeball. And so he put the bandage contact in, and he said it would help with pain, and it did. It helped so much. And so after that appointment, I called the vet, and I was calling him to see if I could schedule an appointment for the next day. And I said, you know, she had 2 seizures last night, and they're like, oh, bring her in right away. And I was like, okay. So we were an hour away now from where the dogs were. So I was like, well, it'll be a little while because we got to go get them. So I drove an hour back to where the dogs were, picked them up, drove another half an hour to the vet. And then they didn't just pull her into the vet. They had us drop her off at the vet so they could look at her and watch her and stuff and do blood tests. And so we waited like at least 4 hours, maybe more, for her to finish at the vet because we didn't want to drive home because that was a half an hour away. So we just hung around that town, and I was like so tired because I hadn't slept. My eye hurt, my, you know, everything. And so finally at like 6 o'clock at night, we picked her up and drove the half an hour home, and I just went and crashed. I was like so tired. But my eye today feels way better. It's just burning, like, you know, if you get soap in your eye, it feels like that burning. But they took the contact out today because he said to only keep it in for 24 hours. And he said the cornea is like 90% healed. He said it only takes like 24 to 48 hours for the cornea to heal. The scratch on the top was a little bit longer, but so that's how I spent my yesterday. And then we didn't get medication for Lily yesterday because I was the only one at the appointment, and I wanted to talk over like the options with Kayla because that's her dog. And so she had a seizure again this morning at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So we're like, okay, let's just get her on this medication. So gave it to her today, hid it in a Vienna sausage, and she ate the Vienna sausage and spit out the medicine. So it should be fun to give her 2 pills a day for the rest of her life when we can't even get her to eat a pill. So yeah, so that's my day. How's yours been? I just woke up. It's like 4 something. It's crazy. I fell asleep probably at like 10:30 this morning. I got like really tired and just like, I'm just gonna lay down to rest a minute. And I woke up at like 4 o'clock. So everybody's gone. I think my mom's at my grandma's. I think Shalena's at work. I don't know where Kayla is. Maybe she's taking a nap or something. But I'm gonna look for something to eat. This fridge in the camper is beeping and it's giving a different error code, and I don't know how to get it to stop. I've like changed all the settings, and I can get it to stop for a minute sometimes, but that's it, it won't stop. Lily, say hi. Lily's doing better. She hasn't had a seizure since we started medication, so we'll see. I don't know, they said she'd still, even on medication, have a seizure every once in a while, but so I don't know if the medication kicked in right away or if she just wasn't having another seizure. So I'm going to go to bed. I've got stuff all over me. I'm going to go to bed. I will upload this tomorrow. It's been like a couple months since I uploaded anything. This camera sucks. It's an old camera, but we just got a GoPro, so our next video will be on a GoPro. So I will talk to you guys later.